Hey folks, I'm back outside again. I just read an article the other day about how for humans, often when we try to solve problems, our default is to add rather than subtract. It's because usually it's easier to add something. So if you have a problem, well, a lot of times we add a committee or we add a meeting or we try to find some gadget that will address it. They did a study and they gave people a collection of Legos, and they said, change this structure of Legos so that it can bear more weight. And they said people were more likely to add more Legos rather than take away, even when taking away Legos was a better solution. That's, by the way, one of the reasons why I like to get outside on my day off. I like to get away from computers, TV, yes, even people. Even though I love people, I love doing things with electronics, all those good things. But the reason is because sometimes it's really nice just to subtract, just to take away. And when we do that, what we find is there's actually more to be discovered. And so I'm reflecting all this because last night we had one of my favorite experiences at St. Louis Parish so far. And that was the youth and family mass and then the party afterwards. And you know, the party, we planned a few things, but ultimately all we really had to do was have food, have some slime, and have a few taped up swords laying around for kids to beat on each other with, and a few of them beat on me with them too, so I'm still a little bit sore. But anyway, we really didn't have to have a whole lot. And one of the most beautiful experiences was when all of a sudden I was with a few of the adults and we were looking around and we said, there are no kids here anymore. And we all assumed that they weren't playing in the street or whatever. In fact, they were all outside. They were playing basketball, they were playing with the swords, they were just running around. Subtracting things sometimes is the best solution to our own personal problems, but especially to our family problems. We live in a culture that, especially if you are in a family, tells you you need to add this program. You need to enroll your kid in these lessons, in this sport. You need to have everything scheduled. You need to buy more toys. You need to have all of these things to help them learn from the time that they're in the womb so that they can get into Harvard or be professional athletes or whatever. And you know, it doesn't make people happier. It doesn't make kids happier. It doesn't always make kids more adept at whether it's sports or learning. These things don't always help. And some of the proof we have of that are scientific studies, psychological insight, but also, by the way that people parented for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. And so I'm going to begin a series of videos. I'm going to kind of branch off from this prayer adventure that we've been doing. In the next few videos that I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about family prayer and family dynamics and how we can grow closer to Christ. But as we approach summer, one of the things that I would really like every family to pray about and to consider is, what can we take away? Not what can we add. And you know, we did a great experiment this past year with coronavirus. You know, when things started to come back online, everybody really enjoyed the fact that you could go enjoy time with each other, you could have sports, all those great things. And so we re-added some things that were really good. But I don't know if you had this experience, but some of the time when there was just not as much going on, it was really refreshing. It was really a relief. Now, obviously it's good to be with other people, so I'm not talking about the social activities, but I'm talking about all of the planned, structured things that we tend to add. If you look back at your family life, maybe you'll find that there were some times when people seemed to just enjoy each other's company a little bit more, when it was nice not to have this thing to go to or that thing to go to. And in reality, I think that most parents would be relieved if they were told by some expert, not that I'm an expert, but if they were told by some expert, you know what? You don't have to do all this stuff. And it's not making your kids necessarily happier. It's not making them into better adults. Only you as parents, with the guidance of the Holy Spirit, can discern what those things are, what the things are that we're called to subtract. But I'm just here to encourage you. I'm just here to ask you to have the courage to look at those things and to pray, to ask the Holy Spirit to help you. Because what ends up being filled in when we take those things away is time with each other, time with the Lord, time just enjoying the gifts that God has given us, like nature out here or like each other. So that's what I got for you. We're going to talk more about that in future videos. I hope this is helpful. And I ask you guys to continue to pray for me as I pray for you. Thanks. God bless.